Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm, trying to keep up the posting and stuff. I want to say again thank you so much for the support on my previous sketchbook tour video. I didn't expect it at all.
Okay, so I forgot to introduce myself, so I'll just do it now. I'm Jules and Juliet on all social medias, mostly active here and on Instagram and on TikTok. But anyways, back to past me, and I hope you enjoy the video.
Today we will just be doing a little draw with me, just casual. I'm thinking I'm gonna fill a sketchbook page in this book, which I also want to do a tour of when it's done. And also I got sent some markers by ft.Arrtx. I'm not being paid to say anything, but figured I would try those. I've already swatched them and very nice and pigmented, so I'm very excited to try them out. I don't think there's much more to say before starting, other than thank you so much for being here and showing up. And without further introduction, let's just get into it. This is a Moleskine sketchbook I'm using. It's the art collection one. I don't know the size measurements of this one, but it's like about a A5, a bit smaller. Thinking I'm just gonna start with a clean spread for this one. Okay, they are in place. I also have an iced coffee with me for motivation. I'm one of those people who low-key struggles to sit down and work if I don't have anything to like sip on. What am I gonna draw today, guys? That's the question. I was thinking I could just like keep it very casual, very chill. The sketchbook is mainly more like fun stuff. Maybe I'll start with just drawing like a little doodle of myself. I think it's very fun drawing myself if I have worn outfits I've specifically liked or anything like that. So I think that's pretty fun. I'm working on another YouTube video as well currently besides this, and it's gonna be a bit about like painting clothes and stuff, and I have filmed myself like sketching the design I'm gonna have on the piece I'm painting. Not to spoil too much, but that was a lot easier I think because I was mainly filming but I wasn't talking over it or anything. So this feels a lot more like intimate, I guess. Myself, maybe I always carry like a bag with me. I'm like the friend who has a bag with her that has essentials and like tools for like any situation that might possibly occur. I think I might do a type of like tutorial thing as well at some point. I'm pretty confident with rendering and how I do digital art. I would say my traditional art is a lot more inconsistent in how I do it, so I figured it could be cute to do like a little tutorial like how I render, or like tips and tricks, just things that could help you out, I guess. I think it's very fun sharing the stuff I've learned on my way. I know it's not easy to learn, like especially in digital art. It took me so long to like ease into and actually understand the tools I was using when I was starting. But I have been drawing for a very long time now, so it is getting easier. Maybe I can do what I'm wearing today. This is not the definition of fashion by any means. I'm wearing a black sweater and some baggy pants, but it's like off the shoulder. It's pretty cute. I'm gonna try to do this in one recording, but because I have work today in like 3 hours approximately, so I'm gonna try to do this within that time frame. Also, like with this YouTube stuff, it's a lot of fun. I am gonna be so real. I think it's a lot of fun, and I feel a lot more like proud of the things I've made on YouTube compared to a lot of my short form stuff. This feels a lot more like personal and a lot more me than what I maybe post more short form, but it does depend a bit more on the video, where since these are so long and take so much time to make, I have to have some kind of passion behind whatever I'm working on. If not, I won't be motivated enough to finish it, and I'm very happy with myself for doing it. I honestly am so good at procrastinating, like so good at it. This video as well, I woke up today and I'm gonna be so for real, I did not feel like sitting down and filming today, but I'm kind of busy like the following days because I live at home still, so I like filming when others are like at work and stuff, so I don't feel as awkward talking and I won't be as like easily interrupted, I guess. So I figured I'd do it today, and then I can also like get started with editing and stuff. Yeah, I'm just finishing my outfit. I am gonna wear my like Doc Martens probably. I folded and I got the Doc Marten Buzz shoes. My boyfriend got them for me for Valentine's. I like wearing a lot of jewelry and necklaces and rings and all of that. So I'm definitely adding those. Like, I think you can see I have like some bracelets. I usually wear rings as well, but I have like a lot of charms and stuff on my nails right now. So I think it looks kind of busy, so I'm kind of ready to get new nails, honestly. I do them myself, so I just need to get the effort to, I guess. I think I made my legs too long, so I will just, and that's honestly just fine because I did not have that much space for my feet. What more do we feel like adding here? Honestly, because in my sketchbook, I said I do it mainly for fun or like for personal enjoyment. I also go back, it's like Buffy the Vampire Slayer and me and my OCs, and it's a lot of fan art and OC stuff. But then also, if I do stuff with my friends or my outfits, I have a lot of my outfits in here. Actually, since I'm gonna be using the markers, maybe I will, because I don't think I should do line art with those, so I think I will grab like a pencil with red lead instead, so it maybe would look nicer to draw on top. And I'm thinking maybe my OC, I think it's a lot of fun drawing my OCs, also because when I draw them, I can just sit and think about them and kind of try to keep figuring out what they're all about, I guess, because I know at least for my OCs, they have gotten a lot more developed recently. Like a lot of mine I've had since I was 12 or something. 12 to 13, 14 was when I started making most of my OCs that I still have. I have, of course, a lot of new ones as well. For me, when I have made characters, they have usually came design first. I just draw a character and then I've gotten kind of attached to them when I did the drawing, so I make them into a character based off that. And honestly, especially when I was younger, I just made a lot of OCs to like make them kiss and make like little romantic storylines about them in my head. Which is cute, but then they didn't really have much like lore or story besides that. I think what I'm better at is maybe building their personalities and like how the relationships between all of my OCs develop, and that's been the focus. They kind of exist in a void with just each other, where the world around them hasn't really existed, because I don't know, I'm very bad at world building, I feel, or at least it's something I don't have a lot of practice with. I guess that's better to say. Building is something I'm working a lot more on getting better at. Though my boyfriend, I'd say, is very good at world building, so he's actually helped me out so much with building the world around my characters. So they have gotten like a lot of growth within like the past year or so. I think in general, when building a fictional universe, it's very helpful to just talk with another person, because you have to figure out a lot more stuff that way and just like talk about them and having them ask me questions, because honestly a lot of questions I get I don't know the answer to, but that makes me realize that I actually don't know why they came to be like that, or why they wouldn't do this, or why their powers work like that, or you know, whatever else. This does not look like my OC at all, guys. This is giving me like a bit of performance anxiety. I'm gonna be so for real. I have not really filmed a draw with me like this before. Fine, I don't have a picture of her right now, so I'm doing her from memory, but this is my OC scrap. She was in my previous sketchbook tour as well, like very briefly, but I have worked on her a bit like since then. She is kind of like a sci-fi post-apocalyptic universe. She's kind of punkish, I guess, or like very punk inspired. She lives on like a moon. The world has gotten kind of fucked, and humanity has instead like started manufacturing moons, and people live on the moons around the Earth. So she has some very like DIY elements to her design, because I'm guessing she has to like make her clothes herself or like put them together with scraps she is finding. I honestly don't use the sketchbook as much as I would like to. I originally had a goal last year on filling this within last year, but like by the end of the year, it's April, guys. So I haven't really been as efficient as I'd like to. I think it's a lot more easy to fill my sketchbook when I go to school and such. I have books I've filled within like 2 months, 3 months, whatever. But now it takes me closer to like a year to fill one. But I'd say it's because now I need to do this on my own incentive, where before I just did it in class because I was bored and I had a lot more time to just be bored, and it really made me just draw, I guess, just to fill my bored mind because I couldn't really be on my phone and stuff. But now I don't go to school. I'm gonna study for the fall, but currently I don't go to school, so I have to like draw a lot more on my own incentive and like sit down for it, and it makes me draw a lot less in my sketchbook. And I also do a lot of commission work currently, so when I relax I often just do other things. Is there any lead left in this? I think I have some in my Hello Kitty pencil. I got this in Japan. It's so cute. I'm really also trying to get better at doing environments and such, and I kind of like having some kind of reference, but maybe I'll just do like a sky and some mountains or something here. I think it could work with how I have like the page laid out, so I could do something like this. I feel like the joke of mountains is just making like the lines jagged. There might be some mountains outside my windows that I'm looking at right now. It gives me the gist of what a mountain should look like. I actually am working on this piece digitally of Aiko from Goodnight Punpun, but it's like a kind of gloomy sunset, I'd say, and I'm having a lot of fun drawing it. It's not that often I draw a lot of more like intricate pieces for myself anymore, just because I haven't had the time for it, which honestly sucks. Like this year I have been taking a year off before starting studying, just to like do more art career things. So, like for example, doing this YouTube channel right now to see if I like it and to see if I want to pursue art professionally. I don't know if I could handle having art as my only income. I noticed, at least this past year with art and stuff, I've been very like back and forth on feeling super motivated and I'm just very happy with my work, and super demotivated and questioning why I draw in the first place. But yeah, I'm trying really hard to keep a balance of enjoying art personally and also doing it a bit professionally, I guess. One of her main features is that she has this like very gross, grotesque, big, disgusting arm. She hurt her arm, and someone very, like Ali said, that they could fix her arm, but they screwed up the job and it got severely mutated, and that's like a very big part of her plotline, I guess. I have to think of what I should draw next. Thinking maybe something I could use some bright colors on, because this one has quite bright colors, so maybe I'll do Tears of the Kingdom Link. Fan art really gets me going when I'm kind of uninspired. I guess it helps drawing something that I just really like. Currently, I've been very into Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I think I saw someone talking about it in a YouTube video, so I figured I'd go watch it myself. And honestly, I've loved it so much. I'm currently on season 7, which is the last season, and I'm so sad. I'm almost like done with the series. Like, I've had so much fun watching it. I think I started on like December. It's so good. It's so fun to watch. Like, I was very much wondering how the seasons would pan out, but at least in my opinion, I'm on the last season now, and it's kept the show interesting and not feeling stale throughout the whole show, which I find very impressive. I think it's very good, but I don't have like a great perspective on this because I actually haven't watched many TV shows, I guess. Growing up, I was just like an anime watcher, you know. And I don't know, I started also just watching it because I watched a lot of, like, especially when I sit and draw, I have like some video essays or something like that on. But honestly, I've just gotten such YouTube fatigue. It also has such great fashion inspiration, which is honestly why I started watching it in the first place. Just because I saw a lot of super cute outfits, and honestly it's inspired me so much fashion-wise. I even, well, this is kind of bad, but like I went out and got myself like a tight-fitting, more blazer-shaped leather jacket because of the show, because Buffy has like the coolest selection of leather jackets. And again, with like the fan art, like Link and Ray from Evangelion are like the two characters which are almost like muscle memory to me. I actually have a tattoo of the Master Sword on my arm that I have drawn myself. So yeah, I kind of like I'm a casual Zelda enjoyer, I'd say. Also, when I draw, if I wasn't recording this right now, I also love listening to music, and especially if I'm working on a bigger piece, I like listening to music that kind of has similar vibes for the piece, and it just makes me so much more invested in the project I'm working on. Maybe I'll add like a square at least around the Link as well, so I could give him like, I don't know, a sky or something again. It was also actually so nice that I got sent the markers I'm trying, because that kind of motivated me a bit more to film this video and gave me like something a bit more to talk about, since I haven't I've swatched them and they look really nice, but I haven't gotten into using them for a piece yet, so I'm excited to see how they work in practice. And I hope I don't struggle too much with them. But I think I'll do maybe Buffy and like Willow together. Doing this from memory again, so I don't know if I will capture the likeness of the actors, but that's fine. We got company. She's been sleeping in my bed this far, but I think she wants some company. She can get that later. In the future, if I enjoy doing this draw with me format, and if you guys, at least someone maybe likes it a little bit, I could do some more and make them more specific. Maybe draw a spread with just like a bunch of cute outfits and make it a bit more like fashion-like, and kind of combine it with like a week in my life. Like I've seen people on TikTok draw their outfits for a week and I thought those were so cute, so I could do something like that. Or maybe related to my OCs and give like the rundown of some of them. This is like gonna be a marker page, but I could do some for different medias. I think watercolors are what I'm the most confident in, so it could be like a watercolor draw with me, also featuring some like tips and tricks for how I like drawing. I think that could be cute. We can just get into doing the colors now. I have a little layout of the markers. I just made this myself. I have erased it now, but I made like a grid with just a pencil that was 6 by 15, I think. So I can now go in and start using the colors. This is the acrylic marker set with 90 colors. I'm very excited to start using these. This is the box They came in. I had to apply these stickers myself, so I already did that. This one I messed up, so I will just put these here, I think. I think I will start doing myself and working this way like I did with the sketch, mainly because I don't want to lay down my whole entire hand into the markers and like start smearing it everywhere. I think this could be a good skin color for me. So we'll just start by adding in the flat color. I really enjoyed the brush pen. I haven't used that many acrylic markers in my life, but when I've used them previously, they've all had bullet nibs, and that's kind of scratched at the paper I've been using, so I really like the brush pen compared to that. I'm not being paid to say anything or stuff like that. This is just me trying them out. I refuse to believe that the way my cat is laying right now is comfortable at all. She's like all the way on the corner of my desk, but I guess that is fine. She can hang out. She's very cute. Her name is Jenny, if you're wondering. And then I think I'll do my hair now. It's kind of brownish, low-key currently, but I like to think that it's bright red, so I'm gonna do that because I do color it red. It just fades. But I had this little goal of finishing this draw with me before going to work today. Yeah, I think I should leave in like an hour and a half or like go eat. But I'm trying to like keep this still pretty fun and casual. I don't want to overthink the details of everything either. These brushes are actually so nice. Some of them did like splash out a bit when I opened them, but it was only a few. And I'm gonna try to darken it up a bit because my hair is not this gorgeous. Though I have been really wanting to re-dye it, but I don't know. People with dyed hair will relate to feeling when your dyed hair has faded like 2 washes in, and all of a sudden it's not as cute and beautiful as it once was. I think red is at least like an all-right color as far as fading goes. Like it fades pretty beautifully, I think, which is why I've had red hair. I've dyed my hair a lot before, but I've kept my red hair now for I think like 2 years. But I'd say I'm very cool toned skin wise, and also just like I've decided that I'm cool toned. Like I don't really care that much about like the color stuff. Wear what you want and what you feel good in. But like how I do my makeup and what I wear is also very cool toned. So it always starts slashing a lot when my hair starts fading. Because when red, at least like more box dye red hair fades, it usually gets like a slightly orange tint to it. Okay, adding this like lighter red shade now. I'm just looking at the sheet again, and there you have like the most accurate representation of the colors, picking and choosing from there. But like if my hair was this color here, I would be so happy, but it's like this. And also I have black the bottom side of my hair, so I'll add that. I think that's fine. Maybe I'll do my eyes before I keep going. I'm looking at the sheet right now, and I have no clue what I'd say my eye color is, but I usually draw them like somewhere between gray and green. Do I attempt doing like my makeup? Recently I've just been doing like smoky smeared brown eyeliner because it's pretty easy to do and it looks good. So now I'm gonna do a pant color. I don't think I have anything that's like super similar because mine are pretty cool tones. Maybe I'll do this. C47. I'm just filling in the shape, and then I think I'm gonna go in with the details later. I'm just praying that I vaguely remember where they're supposed to be placed. I think I will do some black first, but I see that when I lay them down, they are a bit lighter. Like, I think they dry down a bit darker. So I'm gonna try to look at this sheet and not the color swatches here, because I'm trying to make the pants dark at least. But I can add some black and then maybe add the blue on top, and maybe that could work. I like really prefer that to the bullet nib. And also if you go in blending and stuff, and honestly just like coloring bigger areas I've had with a lot of bullet nibs acrylic markers, or the ones that I've had, I've kind of scratched up the paper, but I haven't had that yet. I don't know if it would if I go in and do more blending, so maybe I'll try that actually and try to do some more blending. I also definitely do think that depends on the paper you're using. It looks like you can at least blend like a fair bit without the paper getting upset, or at least my paper. It's not super textured, which I really like, but it can struggle a bit with watercolors, which does suck a bit because watercolors are my favorite. These are very nice. You don't have to like shake or press them before opening, by the way. Very smart that they made it like that, because you probably would have just like ruined the brush nib. I think I'll just, while I'm at it, go in and fill in my sweater. Maybe leave some of the highlights just so I can see. Trying to make sure I don't lose my marker order while I draw here and just like have them in the same spot. My bag is just a black leather, so I think I will try to add some highlights to it as well afterwards, so it like contrasts a bit more since it's a shinier texture than my like cotton sweater. I love adding the shiny details. I think with that this one is done, I'm gonna move over to doing the mountains. I think I'm gonna make the sky kind of green. That's the vibes, and I really like this shade of green. It just spoke to me when I looked at the marker sheets.
Okay, so I've got no clue what happened to the last clip because it lost the audio, so I'll just do a voiceover now. I started with that grayish green color, and for the rest of the colors I decided based off that to match it and create a bit more of a moody atmosphere. So I started with the clouds and stuff in the background. It was a lot of back and forth because I couldn't make the clouds look right for some reason. I just wanted them to look kind of light and fluffy, and it just wasn't working out. And also when I add the mountains, it's going back and forth between all of those to make sure that the mountains match the rest of the piece and match the colors, but also don't disappear into the background, as well as just trying to get the grips of how to do blending with these markers, but I'd say that went pretty well. So here at the end, I'm starting to color the drawing of Scrap. I started out by coloring in the skin. It was really nice working on a slightly bigger scale than just the drawing of myself, so I got to try out blending with the skin colors a lot more in this. So you can see me add shadows as well as blush and highlights to her face. And I say the markers have a very good range for especially skin, so it was pretty easy to find colors that worked for what I wanted them to do. And with that, we can just go back to past Jules.
Just coloring in her hair right now and leaving base for the blonde streaks. Maybe I should have done the blonde streaks first, actually. I think that would have been so much easier. I'm gonna use CO2, same shade I used here basically. No, this is another one. This is even lighter, but I prefer this as like a cream shade, so it's almost white. Just like leaving negative space where I think I want the blonde streaks to show through. But I would really love to like do a longer videos where I talk more about my OCs. She is not from like a very developed universe. I have one that's a lot bigger that I guess is my main one. It's kind of Victorian based, but I have developed that one quite a bit more, and like again, my boyfriend has helped me with figuring out some of the world building for it, so I think I would have had more to say about it. I would love to turn actually the story or like the concept of Scrap's universe into a game. Like I think that would be the coolest. I also am noticing that in general the colors dry a lot lighter on the first coat, at least in my sketchbook. I'm just like noting my observations here, but at least in my sketchbook the first layer is drying down a lot lighter than the following layers, even of the same color. And I think that is, at least because I didn't notice it on my swatch sheet, but this is a lot thicker of a paper, and I think it's more of a marker paper. Or I'd say this one is like a mixed media paper. It's pretty good with watercolors, so I think this one like absorbs more of the marker into it than the other paper, so that's why it looks a little bit lighter on the first layer. Okay, right now I'm just adding the black. I might actually do something kind of line arty for this one. I think I'll add some shading to the little metal part of her accessories. I'm trying to be a bit quicker now because I noticed the clock. I think I'm gonna do C19 for the rest of her hair shading. And I also gotta do some more shading on the other like main blue part of her hair. I'm gonna do a lighter blue. These are very fun to work with. I have quite a few alcohol markers as well, and I think they're very nice. I really like how saturated you get the colors with markers. I think it's like, since you have to go in with full saturation, which can be scary on white paper, you like end up having to go all the way there, because my watercolor paintings can look a bit more dull, I feel. I don't know if this is making sense, but I also prefer watercolors in the way where I like that I can play around with it more. look. I really like how like saturated this page is looking. A lot of my previous pages now have been mainly just sketches, so it's fun adding some color again. And also like I have a lot of things I'm gonna color further back. I just need to get the motivation to, which has been hard lately. I don't know, I feel like it's always a struggle, but I'm really trying to build more just like creative habits for myself. As I said, I'm doing a lot of commissions and more professional artwork. Forget almost how I draw things for myself and for my own enjoyment without thinking of monetizing it or doing it for someone else. So I'm really trying to find my own joy in making art for myself again and differentiating it. Because I do believe that if you are smart with it, you could definitely have both at the same time. And that's what I really want to achieve. So I'm trying to work on getting better at balancing that stuff. Because I absolutely love drawing and I honestly don't know what I'd be without it either. I think that's good, but I will get back tomorrow or the day after and see you then for the rest of finishing this, and I will go eat now. It's the next day now. It's sunny. Honestly, I think it's so nice that like spring is actually coming for real, for real. I'm such a plant, so I'm really happy to see that it's getting brighter outside and warmer. I don't really like layering plenty of clothing. Like the winters here in Norway as well get so cold. Yeah, I'm just really excited for the weather to get warmer. I'm just fixing some of these. Yeah, I noticed some stuff just looking back at it. It really helps just coming back to it with fresh eyes. Also mirroring the image. I do think Scrap's face is kind of crooked, but I've just decided to not think about it. But I was gonna say, I am so happy it's getting warmer and stuff. I think my favorite weather conditions are just when you can wear the same amount of layers inside and outside. Like when I can wear like a sweater and jeans outside or something. That is perfect to me. And also circling back to, I think I talked a bit about what content I want to make. Maybe upload monthly or twice a month. I'm trying to like pick up the pace. I'm working on 2 YouTube videos at the same time right now, which is pretty big for me. And I kind of want to keep doing that. I'm proud of myself for starting at all. Doing YouTube has been something I wanted to do for a while. I mean, I'm figuring out if I like enjoy doing it and stuff, of course, because I'm not really used to the editing and such, but I do like it more than I expected, and I think I will like it even more just as I learn and get better, so it won't be as tedious, because right now it is like a little bit tedious to edit, but I still think it's really fun. And as said, also like it's a lot more personal. You get to see a lot more of me besides my art, and I like really enjoyed seeing everyone's comments on the previous video. I would honestly like maybe love to do just like a good old Q&A at some point where I could respond to you guys' questions while having a draw with me or something. I honestly just want to try a lot of stuff. I haven't made enough videos to have a preference on what I prefer making. So I want to try a lot of different things. I think I mentioned it earlier, but I'm gonna start studying this coming fall. So I want to try everything I can and have the time to. Honestly, I feel like I've been very slow with doing just that. I feel like I should have done and accomplished a lot more in the time that I did have, so I'm trying to pick up the pace. But that might just be me being very critical of myself as well. Because I did think I could have like made more, and also I procrastinate a lot. Like for example, the first YouTube video I made, the PNG tuber video, took I think 3 months in total. Not because it was 3 months worth of work, just because I spent 3 months waiting around as well, besides, you know, actually doing the video. Like I spent so much time procrastinating, making the designs, and don't get me started on actually sitting down and doing the voiceover. But it was, I guess, good practice. I feel like I am getting more momentum for each video I make. I'm getting more used to making them and figuring out what's more effective to do. And also now that I do voiceover, it's not just my first voiceover. I've done it before. I got so much more conscious of how much I use filler word and such, but I'm trying to be more conscious of having actual decent sentence structure, because I edited out so many likes in that video. It made me so mad. But I'm trying to just get better at talking straight and clearly, so you guys also hear and understand what I'm saying. I think I'm gonna move on to the next ones now. I guess I'll start with just adding skin color to them. I should have made a red sketch. They look kind of green right now. Hopefully that gets fixed as I just keep going, and I can add some more layers and stuff as well. One thing that I guess takes me away from markers as a whole, because it isn't really my preferred art medium, is just you need a lot of markers for you to really get to like decide actually the shade of color you want. I of course have to just go for the closest to what I'm looking for and do a lot of blending work, but honestly my favorite part of drawing is kind of communicating the story of my piece with the colors. Figuring out the color story is like my favorite part of making any piece. That's why I also gravitate a lot more towards paints, because you have a lot more of a choice in deciding the hue, value, saturation, etc, etc. I think that's so much more fun to play with rather than just picking brown, blue, black, etc. That's why I haven't used markers that much, because I can't really decide what value I'd have the marker if I don't have that many colors, which can get pretty expensive. I have a New Year's resolution of trying to buy as few things as possible. Also with the fact that I'm starting studies and moving out, I honestly just realized that the less luggage the better, which has made me buy a lot less stuff and clothes. I have a lot of clothes, way more than what I need for sure. I also had a goal of not buying makeup this year besides refills, because again I just have too much and that expires as well. So I want to be able to like use up most of what I have. And that's been going pretty well. I haven't bought any this far with clothes. It's been a bit more difficult because I do like thrifting as like a thing I do when I hang out with my friends, and that makes it harder to like stop. And also when you go to thrift stores, it feels very much so like, oh, this item is super special, it's very one of a kind, which is very fun, but it also makes me feel more pressured to buy the item when I'm there. Maybe it's not actually fully my style, or as my style as I thought it was in the moment. I think I'm adding like a pattern to Willow's shirt. Her style, she definitely has a lot of very like whimsical patterns and such. Trying to add some shading to Buffy's hair. I want to make it look like her blonde hair without making it look fully yellow. I really need to define their skin tones, really making me tweak how green they are currently. So I need to maybe add like another layer. Skin and hair color are looking kind of the same right now. Kind of doing like soft line art. Oh yeah, look at how much the green from the sketch is disappearing on the second layer, and I'm also gonna add some blush to them after this, which will definitely help even more. Link is gonna have this issue as well. But I think his sketch is a bit clearer, so might not struggle as much. I maybe want to try and invest in some better equipment. I would really like to firstly get a tripod. Right now my phone is just stuck onto my lamp with sticky tack, which works pretty well for doing some smaller type of craft as my desk type activities. I did the same for the sketchbook tour, but I think I will struggle a bit more when I have bigger projects, you know, something that is more than an A5 paper. Oh yeah, this one is a pretty good example of how some of the markers dry down darker because it looks basically the same as the hair color I have, but when it dries it looks quite a bit darker. So I'm just trying to keep in mind where I place it. Filming these videos really forces me to focus when I'm drawing, and I watch stuff and I draw a lot, which has become a bad habit. I'm trying to listen to music now rather than watch stuff just because it distracts me a lot, and I really just want to try to immerse myself in the art I'm making more than I have been previously. I think this marker that I opened just now might be a bad idea. I think it splattered on the sheet when I was making it earlier. I think this one and like one other marker are the ones I've had this problem with, but generally I haven't had that with any of the others. Willow and Buffy are soon done. I don't think it looks like them that much. Given the fact that I didn't have a reference, I'm pretty happy with the result. I think I'm gonna move on to the Link one. So I'll do like the other ones and just start by adding their skin color. I felt like that was a pretty nice place to start. It's like usually the bottom layer of whichever drawing, and I really like when I keep going as well to know what the colors look like compared to the skin color, since I feel like, especially when you draw people, how the person and person's face looks kind of makes or breaks the drawing. Trying to do more blending. These ones became just too tiny maybe for the markers with the size they have, so it was more difficult to work with the details. This one being a bit bigger, it feels very nice, so I don't have to go like super light-handed, but I definitely prefer working a bit bigger with these markers. And then this is like super tiny. I think this is good. I wish they had some more just like not peach toned browns, because I think that would work better for his hair, but I think this could work out. It's like a stylistic choice. I just have to see how it dries before anything else. I think a lot of the brown shades seem pretty focused on shading skin, which is fair because it is a very important aspect of a piece, but they all lean kind of peachy for that reason. This is also reminding me that I really want to get back into playing or replaying one of the Zelda games. I've just really struggled with managing my free time in general, so I've been watching Buffy the Vampire Slayer, but otherwise I really haven't had the time to indulge myself in my interests, and I think Buffy is a lot easier because it's a show, so I can do other stuff while watching it. But I, for example, have this book I want to try to finish reading. I need to make an effort to read more for the summer just because I'm starting my studies and I'm such a slow reader. I didn't really like reading as a kid, and when I was gonna relax and like sit and chill out with a book, it was a sketchbook, not a reading book. So my reading skill is pretty bad. I want to make an effort to read some so I don't struggle a ton when I start college. I have been struggling with keeping my motivation for personal art, and I think a big reason for that also is just that I haven't been enjoying or experiencing new art on my own in my free time. I feel like when I'm the most creative and inspired, it's very often fan art based. I think I'm pretty known as a fan art artist. I really like indulging myself in these like fictional universes, and they really inspire me to make art, but I haven't really indulged myself in so much media recently, which has kind of just led me to a bit of a drought. I don't think it's just one thing, but I think it's a big reason to why I have been a bit more demotivated to draw in my free time, and that's just like a bad loop because I draw less in my free time, and when I first have time to draw it gets so much more difficult because I feel like I really have to be efficient with the free time that I do have. Blue is my favorite color to do this with, but I really love adding like a contrast color shine. So I feel like it makes the piece look a lot more interesting. And back to the media talk. Like, if you guys have suggestions for literally anything, shows, games, books, any type of media that you guys really like, that really inspire you creatively, I would absolutely love to hear what it is. I would love to try to discover more stuff, read more stuff, play, watch, whatever. But I would really love to hear if you guys have anything that you want to share, and you guys could help each other as well if anyone is experiencing the same problem. I did so much Tears of the Kingdom fan art, for example, when that came out. It was genuinely all I was thinking about when I was playing it. And playing the game made me like want to draw so many pieces based off like the memories and locations and everything. And I still adore all of the characters in the game, but I kind of have been tempted to replay it for that reason. It's a very comfort game, I guess. Though I have never finished Majora's Mask, which I have on my DS, like the 3D version. But I have struggled with getting into it. In theory, it seems like just the game for me. I love its darker elements so much, but the time aspects make me so stressed out when I play it that I just end up not doing it because I feel stressed figuring out what to do. Though I have heard that it's just like, it's a loop that you just gotta get into, and when you fully understand how it works and you manage to work alongside it, it's really fun. But I guess I just haven't played it enough to get to that stage. I really do love how like smooth and flat these dry down. I think that's such a cool effect. My favorite type of paint is gouache paint, and a big part is exactly for this reason, that I really love how flat and matte it dries down. I think it looks so interesting and beautiful. Maybe I should make a gouache video. That could be so fun. But I don't know, I think I would do a digital painting one because I feel like I could also maybe be of help to people who are trying to learn digital art, since it's especially for me, when I was learning Procreate, which is the program I've had the most time with, it really took me so long to learn just because it took me a while to grasp the tools. Just figuring out what brushes to use and which ones are more effective considering what you want to make makes such a big difference on how the process is of creating a piece, how much time it takes, and just how it turns out. Oh yeah, this one is also, okay, this is maybe marker number 2 that is a bit too loaded. I don't know if it's just overfilled in production or if this is only a problem upon opening now, because they were shipped to me obviously, and they were shaken around a lot in shipping, I am assuming, so it could definitely be just that. And it's not like globbing or anything when I'm drawing. Like I didn't have that with the purple one I used earlier either. Like none of them have like made big droplets of paint, ink, whatever on my paper, or like actually been difficult to use other than like a slight splatter like the previous one had. And then it's on to the sword. It's like a purpley blue, very cool blue. Maybe I'll add the green details that are on the handle before I keep going. I think that's good for this shade, and then I'm going to try to find something lighter to go on with the highlights. When I started filming this video, I had such like performance anxiety. Honestly, it's easing up a lot more. I think I'll add some lighter hair shines as well. It takes practice to just figure out what to talk about. I feel like this is still pretty all over the place. I think I've revisited the same topics multiple times by now. And maybe I should try to make myself some bullet points that I follow more tightly or something to make that easier. When I'm doing all of this YouTube stuff, especially when I was starting, I'm just trying so hard to not be too hard on myself. I can be a pretty big perfectionist and pick on myself and the details of everything quite a lot, but this is a skill I am learning and I'm trying to be kind with myself because of that. It won't be great in the beginning, that's just how it's gonna be. I know how to draw, but I don't know how to edit and how to talk and formulate stuff that well. I really like just having pops of contrast for the backgrounds I do. I think it looks so cool. I also draw a bit more desaturated, so when I draw specifically people and don't know what I want to do for the background, I love adding just a very bright blank background. A bright red is my favorite. I think it looks so cool, but I felt like the orange would fit for this one. I think we are basically finishing up right now. I added a bit of a darker shadow behind him, kind of like it's a backdrop and he's casting the shadow onto it, as well as some lighter yellow around his hair on the top side, just because I felt like the orange ended up looking too similar to his hair color, like they were kind of blending together. So I'm just doing what I can to differentiate them. I'm just adding some more outline around his face and hair on the bottom side, kind of adding to that shadow effect I had going. If you made it this far in the video, I just want to say thank you so much for sticking with me. I hope this was interesting or entertaining or just gave you any sort of value. I'd really love to hear your opinions, and again, like video suggestions, anything. At the level I am at now, I am able to read almost every comment that I get, and I hope you have a lovely day, weekend, night, whatever time of day it is. It's the weekend for me now, so I'm gonna try to relax, even though I have some more stuff that I have to film. My favorite thing to do when I'm done with my sketches is honestly just adding random background squares and like clunks of color. I feel like it really helps tie a sketchbook page together. It means so much the support I've received on here. It really is fulfilling to see that I'm inspiring people more than anything. It makes me so happy. I'm gonna add dates. And if you want to see more of me, all of my social medias are in the description. I am trying to be more active on here, but I definitely do post more on Instagram and TikTok. So if you want to see more of me, go there. I also sell some prints on InPrint. I have some prints I'm working on currently that I want to get out. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you being here, and I will hopefully see you soon. Bye!